Olivia's heart skipped when she noticed Nick entering the cafe, heading straight toward her table. She had just settled in when she saw him approaching. Olivia and her husband Brad had lived next to Nick and his wife Louise for nearly 4 years. Though Nick and Louise were in their early 40s and Olivia and Brad were in their mid-30s, the two couples had grown quite close over time. They often spent time together, sometimes going on trips with and without their children. "This is a surprise," Olivia said, curiosity coloring her voice as she glanced past him. "Aren't you supposed to be at work right now?" Nick gave a small smile and took the seat opposite her. "I could ask you the same thing," he replied casually. "I took the afternoon off for some personal matters. Looks like you had a similar idea." Olivia nodded. "I just needed a break after a hectic morning." She smiled lightly. "I didn't think this was your usual cafe," Nick admitted, his eyes never leaving hers. "It's not. I saw you walk in and thought I'd join you." His straightforwardness made Olivia look away, her fingers nervously fidgeting with her coffee cup. "Is everything all right?" she asked, concern creasing her brow. "Is Louise okay? She hasn't been hurt, has she?" Nick's expression softened as he offered a reassuring smile. "Louise is fine, thank you for asking. But that's part of why I wanted to talk to you today. You and Brad have always been such reliable friends, and I need to be honest with you." A wave of unease settled over Olivia, making her hesitate. "What is it?" she asked cautiously. Nick's tone became serious, his eyes steady. "Have you been intimate with him?" The question stunned Olivia, her face flushing a deep red. "What? No, I don't even know who you mean," she stammered. Nick remained calm, almost conversational. "The man you keep watching from across the room. You know who I mean." Her heart pounded as she tried to process his words. "No, I haven't," she blurted, shaking her head quickly. Her hands moved to her lap, a protective gesture that betrayed her anxiety. Nick looked at her with a mixture of understanding and firmness. He placed a gentle hand over hers. "Please listen carefully," he said softly. "I need to explain what's really happening here. What you think is going on and, more importantly, what he believes is going on." Olivia nodded hesitantly, her mind racing. Nick leaned in, lowering his voice. "He's charming, isn't he? Probably younger than Brad, maybe even more successful. He has qualities Brad doesn't. At least, that's what he wants you to believe. But Brad is always there for you. He listens when you need to talk, supports you when you're down, sacrifices for you when it truly matters." Olivia tensed at his words, whispering, "I don't know how to answer that." Nick continued, his tone unwavering. "In the last 2 weeks, you missed 2 important events. Your son's birthday and your 9th wedding anniversary dinner. Both times because this man demanded your attention. He's pulled you in without you even realizing it." Her voice trembled as she tried to explain. "Nothing's happened between us. We're just friends." Nick responded matter-of-factly. "The kind of friend you hide from your husband because you know he wouldn't approve. The kind who knows more about your marriage than most people. He's encouraged you to see Brad as the problem. Every time Brad gets suspicious, you convince yourself he's being unreasonable. But that's not true, is it?" Olivia's jaw dropped, her face paling. "How do you know all this?" she whispered. Nick's gaze stayed steady. "I've been paying attention. When your son kissed you and told you he loved you, or when Brad planned the anniversary dinner, which did you prioritize?" Olivia's breath caught in her throat. "I only missed the anniversary because Brad was grieving a friend who passed away. It wasn't planned, it just happened." Nick nodded. "I understand how you justify it, but look at yourself now. You're sitting here waiting for him, yet you say nothing has happened. I think it's gone beyond a simple kiss. If Brad were the one involved, you'd probably see it as crossing the line." Olivia flinched but stayed silent. Nick pressed on. "But your charming friend, he's made you feel Brad isn't the partner you want. Just someone filling the gaps you believe are missing at home. You might feel responsible for how this began, but you're still drawn to him, even finding it flattering. It's unsettling, but you convince yourself nothing serious has happened. Deep down, though, you feel guilty and hope Brad never finds out." Tears spilled from Olivia's eyes as she wiped them away. "I won't tell Brad. I can't. He'll figure it out himself," she whispered. Nick shook his head. Let me tell you what he thinks is going on. Olivia stayed silent as Nick raised a hand to stop her protests. Don't interrupt. This man isn't as innocent as you think. He knows exactly what he's doing. You might believe he's interested in you, but it's more than that. He's playing a game. It's about Brad, not just you. He enjoys undermining Brad, making him feel inadequate, proving he's more important to you than your husband. He's orchestrated those missed events. Brad's birthday is in 3 weeks. Will you let this happen again? Olivia's face grew pale. I can't. Nick raised an eyebrow. Remember your anniversary? Brad sat alone at a restaurant for an hour while you were with this man. When you texted Brad some weak excuse about a friend being sick, you didn't even try to make it believable, did you? Now you're skipping work to see him. What does that say about your priorities? Olivia drew a shaky breath. He doesn't want to hurt Brad, she whispered. He just wants me. Nick chuckled dryly. Of course he does. He knows everything you've told him about Brad. He's exploiting Brad's insecurities, making you doubt your marriage and pushing you toward breaking point. He wants to create a divide between you and Brad to keep his game going. And when he's sure he has you, he won't hesitate to tell Brad everything. He'll twist the truth if it serves him. Olivia's eyes widened in horror. How do you know all this? She asked quietly. Nick's expression hardened. I've been around long enough to recognize the signs. Louise and I have been happily married for years, but I've seen this kind of thing before. You have 2 choices. Keep lying to yourself and let it spiral, or face reality and stop this before it destroys your marriage. Tears welled up again. Brad can't find out, she choked out. Nick exhaled deeply. If you keep going down this path, he will find out. And when he does, it'll be worse. That man will make sure Brad hears it firsthand, and it won't be pretty. Olivia sobbed quietly, shaking her head. I can't tell him. Nick leaned forward, placing a calming hand on her shoulder. Then don't do anything you'll regret. Don't meet him. Don't even hug him. Say goodbye. If this keeps going, Brad will find out, and it'll be the end for both of you. Suddenly, a deep voice interrupted from behind them. Is this man bothering you? Nick turned to see a tall, thin man with a thick beard standing nearby. Without hesitation, Nick extended his hand. You must be Reed, he said evenly. Reed hesitated before shaking it, but Nick's grip tightened, pulling him closer. In a low, firm voice Nick whispered, listen carefully. If you try to cause trouble, you'll regret it. If you speak to my wife or even mention her, there will be consequences. Reed winced as Nick released his hand. What the hell are you? Reed asked, voice faltering. Nick leaned in, icy and calm. I'm the one who knows exactly what you're up to. Don't make a fool of yourself. She isn't worth it. Nick straightened and turned back to Olivia. You still have a chance, he said gently. Go home and be honest with Brad. Tell him the truth before things get worse. He deserves that much. Olivia nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. Thank you, she whispered. Nick's face softened for a moment. Don't thank me. Just do what's right.